answer to and on our,
I don't have the answer, but we will research that, and that would be part of the question on the Santander lot.
I would think if they were already approved, that it must have come before, no?
well, it's not always the same board
Oh,
that sits
okay.
on these things, yeah.
There's 12 of us.
All right, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name's Robert Sullivan. I live at 570 Adams Street. I'm in a butter to Suzanne Brown. I'd just like to say, Mr. McDonald, my neighbor across the street, was just trying to paint a picture for the board regarding traffic. Not everyone lives in that area, not everybody drives in that area, so they don't understand the problems that we have. Second thing I'd like to say is, I'd like to say that Mr. Falcone is a great neighbor, because 2 weeks ago, he sandblasted the building on a Sunday without finding out whether there was any hazardous materials on that building. There was no tests made. Where was our inspectional services department? Another ball dropped. The other thing I'd like to say is, I don't believe the restaurant controls whether Sid Wainer, whether Cisco, whether Sorelli comes with a big truck or a little truck. That company is making deliveries to many or numerous restaurants in the area. They're not coming with a little truck. They're trying to maximize the delivery. So they have no control. I am an owner of heavy equipment. I would hate to have to drive around the block to come up Church Street, and that's what they do now. What they're proposing to do with the heavy equipment, or the trucks, so to speak, is to send them to a residential neighborhood. They've even said that the delivery will be on Church Street. As we know, Abbey Park gets deliveries on Franklin Street. And I'm going to tell you right now, human nature, he's not going to wheel all that produce with a two-wheeler down Adams Street to that back entrance. I think we all know that. Okay, now, they have a proposal for valet parking. Where's the queue going to be for everybody that wants to have valet parking? Out on Adams Street? On Church Street, Franklin? Are we going to lose parking spaces on Adams Street so that you can have the valet parking out front? As you drive down Newbury Street in Boston, what do? They lose a few parking spaces for valet parking in the evening. So how are they going to support that proposal? Currently, Santander Bank is posted. No parking. So John Q. Public coming up from Situate, Cohasset, or coming in from Brookline, they don't know where to park. They're going to look for the closest place. But they're going to go into that bank and they're going to see it posted. So they may not park there. So now they're going to be looking for a spot on the street. The first person, or I should say the first time they visit there, they don't know to park over in Falcone's lot off of Franklin Street or the spot out back. They're looking for a spot on the street. It's human nature. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do want to address one comment that was made, which is a comment about the sandblasting that was done on a Sunday. It was, the police department issued a permit for Sunday work because sandblasting is a particularly difficult endeavor and needs to be carefully protected, and Sunday was considered to be a better time to do it. So there was a permit. The work was done exactly as it's supposed to be, with all the proper permits and requirements. It was enclosed work. I don't know what the I don't know what the proper description is, but we heard that comment last Friday, and we checked with the contractor, and the work was done exactly as it is supposed to be. There was no danger. And it was done as if it were lead paint, but it wasn't lead paint. But it was done that way. It was enclosed.
I'd have to disagree with her. I actually possessed, from the state of Massachusetts, a supervisor's license for de-leading. Okay? I know for a fact that the process that they used was not appropriate.
I
If
think
there was,
it was
if
not
there
lead
was
paint.
lead. Now, what I know is it wasn't tested for.
I understand that there's a disagreement here, but we are not going to adjudicate that tonight.
Okay,
Sorry.
let's just make sure it's clear.
Okay, we talked to the contractor, he said the work was done safely and as it's supposed to be. So
12 o'clock on this.
I think that's the only response I have at this time. Thank you.
I'm going to take one more tonight, and then we are going to try and find a date that we can adjourn to.
Will you take written comments?
If you would like to write a letter to the Board of Appeals, you may.
Hi, my name is Rich Hines. I grew up on the abutting property, 20 Church Street. That's directly behind the proposed restaurant. I've been listening to a lot of these pro comments and a lot of these, negative comments. A lot of the negative comments I agree with. Some of the pro comments I agree with as well. Tax money for the town, that's a great thing. Another restaurant for the town is a great thing. But I'm in a position where I'm speaking on behalf of my parents who have lived in that house for 43 years. And
Just point out here, they live right here next to the parking lot.
And, they understand they live in a commercial district, and they deal with it. They deal with the bank parking lot, with the bank and the Starbucks parking lot and the employees. That's during the day, right? And I forget your name, but like you said, you get some peace at night when that stops. Tony. In this case, that peace is never going to stop. It's never going to come, I should say. Come 7 o'clock, when they're ready to relax for the evening, you're going to have car after car coming up that street. And again, the valet parking, I think I spoke to this after the meeting. I said, what would be a great idea? Let's get 2 valet spots out in front, and let's control that parking lot. But again, that's not a great idea, because that's affecting Adams Street, and Adams Street is narrow, and it's going to affect these neighbors. Adams Street's going to get backed up. So if that is not there, if there's no valet option, what you're going to have is people coming around Franklin and Bassett and up Church. In that parking lot, it's great, it's 23 spaces, right? But there's a little loop in and out. What's going to happen is car after car after car is going to come to see if there's parking there because it's the closest lot, and they're going to have to wait for somebody to come out, and it's just going to create more of a log jam that's already there. I just moved back to Milton. I've been gone for 10 years. I just came back, and the traffic is so much worse now than it was back when I lived here. I dropped my son off at CCD at St. Agatha's. I went to look at, went over to my parents' house because they were doing some work there. I went to see the progress. I backed out of their driveway at 4:45. It took 8 minutes for me to back out of and go up Church and take a right. Because at that time, rush hour, it was that backed up. And, that's part of the deal with living on a busy street, but it's just adding to it. And this, we're not saying we're 1,000% against this restaurant. We just need a better plan. There's got to be a better plan in place with all these parking lots, managing this lot, because it's not just us, it's the lights, it's everything. I went to Steel and Rye last Thursday night, and I walked out with 4 of my friends, and we were laughing and joking. We had a great night. And I got into my car and I realized I just did what I'm going to be complaining about at the meeting. No, I'm serious. And it was harmless, and I didn't mean to do it. I wasn't being a jerk. I just had a fun night with some friends who I don't see too often. And we ended the night, and we were laughing it up, and, But what happens if there's a fight? I worked in the bar industry for 20 years. I saw many fights. That happens as well coming out. Maybe not a restaurant, but people drink. Somebody backs out of the car. There's beeping. They don't move fast enough. There's all those factors that come into play. So again, I'm not saying I'm opposed to it 1,000%. I'm just saying we need a better plan in place before this can go forward.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, and this is another big issue, but this is directly pertaining to my parents, is the location of the dumpster, right? It's about 10 feet from their back door. and I know there's going to be a fence and whatnot, but rats find a way, mice find a way. I had a mouse in my house tonight. No, I'm not lying. I had a mouse, and this thing got into the smallest crack under my stove. So a fence is great, and if it's closed, it's great. Guess what? Italian food is great food. The rats can smell it. And they will be there. There's got to be some, yeah, and the other thing, too, is I brought this up the other night, and I think you had questions about it, but we never got to it, is the outdoor seating.
Oh, we'll get to it.
So again, this is another noise factor, right? So you have, I looked at the diagram, they said there was for 20 people, but when we looked at the diagram the other night, and maybe it's not,
It was 44 or 42.
there was 40, but that's not, all right. But still, outdoors, again, it's the same thing. I'm coming out of Steel and Rye, we're talking, except there's a constant buzz of noise outside on a hot summer night.
5 hours.
4 or 5, whatever the time it goes to, whether it goes to 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, that's about 20, 25 yards from the back of my parents' house.
And we were the kids growing up who were in that back parking lot hanging out, and we were trying to be quiet, and you could hear us.
Yeah.
Imagine if you have 20 people outside.
Drinking, laughing. It's just,
Be a lot of noise for my parents.
I just think we need to find a common ground and move the dumpster.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you.
We need to figure out when we can come back, when we have availability, when,
Can you make sure she signs the extension
yeah.
over where?
Yes, it's,
Sure, Pt3 is okay with that.
While we're looking up dates, there was a comment earlier about whether, while we're looking up dates, there was a comment or a question earlier about whether the board would accept written comments. Comments, oral or written, will be accepted until the date that the hearing closes. We're going to set up a date that's mutually convenient for the members of the board. A number of us sit on a number of different hearings, so we'll find a date. It also works for our staffer. In the meantime, if folks want to provide comments, emails, letters, etc., to the board, we welcome that input. The information how to get in touch with the board is available on the town's website, or you can simply just drop off a letter at Town Hall. It will be put in the package and will be given due consideration. One of the things that this board prides itself on is that our openness and our desire to get comment from the public, and we will continue to do that. So if you have something to say, either come to the next meeting, or in the meantime, send us a letter, email, what have you. Thanks.
oh, you're,
How far out are we looking?
We're not done. We're going to announce the date of the hearing. So if you're interested in what the date of the hearing is, you're welcome to stay, but the hearing is not over.
It will not be advertised again, so if,
This is going to be your only notice. There is not going to be another advertisement.
how far out are we looking?
well, next week is Thanksgiving. The following week, I am,
Push it to allow them to go to the planning board. I hate to be harping on that.
you know something? Yeah,
It's your calendar, too.
What do we have?
second,
All right, let's see. All right. Reality check. The tenants in this place have a lease until July, okay? No reason this can't be pushed till January. Okay? That's from misunderstanding.
yeah, I'm not really interested in having anything until 3 years.
Have any dates in January?
You want to push it off that one, that's fine.
You think, yeah, do you, yeah, let's do that. All right,
What's the book you give?
next Tuesday.
Okay.
Not that there's going to be much in it. We're looking certainly after the end of the year. since we're almost there.
Well, pretty open in January.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I am.
Yeah, I hope. Wow.
Yeah.
Sign this.
Well, the first week of January is okay for me.
Which one?
First and second week of January is okay with me.
Yeah, same here.
Any particular days better?
No. Or nothing in particular.
The other thing you should consider is, as much as I love this room,
Yeah.
whether you ought to be at the COA so that people see,
That's one of the things that's going through our mind.
Yeah.
and you don't know when it's available, that's the problem.
Mary's getting the book. I think that she'll have an idea of if they're available. Not that I want more people to be coming. What do you look like those first couple of weeks of January?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a whole.
Anyone is able to. Appreciate your being here.
Thinking maybe the 13th.
You know what? We can't let this drag out.
January.
Okay.
The only I will say is that there could be a possibility that if there's something else going on, that we may have to move the location. So anybody who's going to check. You know, if I have to move from here, then it'll probably be Council on Aging. But if we pick a date that's empty right now and there, I'll find another location for us.
Okay.
Because I think we'll probably take priority them knowing that we booked.
I'd like to have this the first or second week of January because I don't.
I don't want it on my birthday.
What day is your birthday?
January 8th. Please.
Okay, we won't do that.
We won't do that.
You've got two things going on that week. Are they short? Can we piggyback on them?
I wouldn't do more than one.
We have two hearings on on the 2nd, forget it, it's the 40B. On the 11th, I have two hearings.
January.
Yeah, January. No, January.
December.
Yeah, I'm thinking December. January, we don't have anything right yet. What do we got?
7:30 in the Blue on the 12th and the 14th.
Warrant committee, there's a warrant.
Oh, okay, okay.
And personnel board, so we could do 13,
Why don't we try that?
15.
Okay, folks. We are zeroing in on January 13th. If that works for all the principals.
Tuesday, January 13th.
If we're closed because of weather or anything, we'll repost it on the website. So
Okay.
just in case it happens to be bad weather.
Should anything happen with weather, since it is going to be January and we can't have it, it will be posted on the website. So please make sure that you check that if there's inclement weather. But otherwise, we're adjourned
7:30.
until 7:30 on Tuesday, January 13th.
Because of the weather, what happened?
Will it be at the COA? COA?
It'll be here, but if the weather and, let's say, we have a blizzard, and nobody can get to work that day and they shut down town hall, then we wouldn't be having the meeting that night, and then we post it. Just worst case scenario.
Understood, but the meeting will be here. Okay.
So they have a meeting right away after there's a postponement like that?
Well, we're not going to let this drag. Time is money for everybody.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Sorry.
Take care.
It's all right. That's why I get the big bucks.
I don't
Oh, yeah,
do
the big
pencil.
bucks, I'm sure. It's the glory, isn't it?
Oh, you gotta sign this.
Oh, I do?
I had some gentleman that wanted to ask me a question, but nobody was there.
Ask me?
No, he wanted to ask me a question, and I'm like, can you wait a minute? I'm going to the calendar. This is for you.
I know, I spoke, this is from Bill?
Yeah, I need that at a date book.
Great.
We'll both retire.
I guess we're gonna be seeing a lot of each other in 40B.
No, I've got the Hendry's 40B.
Oh, I've got the, Randolph Ave.
But anything you have.
No, I'm